Today on Money Saving Meals, I am cooking up some of my Italian favorites with a price tag that will serenade you. It starts with my savory veal Osso Buco stew and spicy polenta. Also on the menu, a delicious and easy recipe for crispy eggplant parmesan, and save room for dessert because I am cooking up some sweet and crispy Italian donuts with cherry sauce. And for cocktail time, my Venice sunset is on the horizon. And I've also got a terrific round 2 recipe for Osso Buco calzones. It's incredible Italian flavor with a tiny price tag right now on Money Saving Meals. Now, on some nights, cooking Italian food at home can mean boiling up some pasta and embellishing a jar of sauce, but that would be semi-homemade. Today, we are cooking everything from scratch, and I'm going to show you how to create some classic Italian dishes for a price that will make you smile, I promise. This is my veal Osso Buco stew with spicy polenta, and it's easy, easy, easy. And it starts off with just 3 tablespoons of canola oil into your skillet. Now, while that heats up, I found a great deal at the grocery store I have to share with you. I am using veal stew meat for this recipe. And by the way, normally when you think of Osso Buco, right, you think about the shank and the big piece of meat, and it's quite expensive. But listen to this price comparison. Veal stew meat is only $4.99 a pound. And can I tell you, veal shank is $8.99 a pound. So you're saving $4 a pound or 44%. And I've got 1.5 pounds here. And I'm gonna salt and pepper my stew meat and just toss it in my flour. This goes into your canola oil. And you know what? This stew meat, this veal stew meat, is just as flavorful as the shank would be. And I saved a lot of money. Browning it first adds great flavor, and that's why you want to give it a quick sear. Now, before the meat goes in, I gotta have some vegetables on the bottom of the slow cooker, so I'm using celery and carrots for this. 3 stalks of celery and 2 large carrots. Carrots and celery are always a favorite in the slow cooker. They add great flavor, and you just want to create a bed for your stew meat to rest on. Now in here, I want to put some onions, half of a medium onion in there. Now back to my veal. I'm gonna cook them on each side until they're nice and brown, and then I'm gonna take these right out of here because I'm gonna deglaze the bottom of that pan. All those little bits left behind, those are also incredible flavor. And then I want you to pour in your chicken stock. 1 can will do. And then just working all these little bits up from the bottom, all that flavor. And you can see that all these little bits are actually dissolving in my stock. Yummy. Now, half this meat is gonna go into my slow cooker. Then I wanna put in here the rest of my onions, the rest of my carrots, and the rest of my celery. Then I'm putting in the rest of my meat. Basically, I'm just layering my slow cooker so all those beautiful flavors meld together. Now, to the top of this, some diced tomatoes, 1 can. And 1 tablespoon of garlic. Remember, mince that yourself and you'll save a lot of money, and that's just canola oil in there. Yum. And then my broth right over the top. You always need some liquid in your slow cooker. That's the slow cooker rule. And finally, I'm gonna put a couple sprigs of thyme in there. My favorite herb. Save you time, save you money. This is gonna go into your slow cooker sleeve, and this is 6 to 8 hours on low heat. Soup is on, or I should say, Osso Buco stew. Look at this. Now, I gotta make my spicy polenta to go on my platter, and then I'm going to put that on there and serve up the best dinner ever, let me tell you. In my pan here is just a quart of water about to come to a boil, and to this, I'm gonna add a little bit of salt And then the spice. This is 1 teaspoon of crushed red pepper. Now for polenta. This is the Italian version of grits, and it's very fast. You're gonna need a whisk, and you wanna get in there and really work it. Plus, pour it slow so it doesn't clump up on you. And I'm using an 8-ounce package of polenta. And as you can see, this really comes together fast. Now, a couple things. 2 tablespoons of butter. And I'm gonna use 1/4 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. Now there is definitely some money to be saved when it comes to cheese. The high-end grated Parmesan cheese will be $13.99 a pound. Generic cheese, you know, the cheese we already have in our fridge, is only $5.98 a pound. So you're saving like $8.01, 57% right there on your cheese. Now, onto a platter, and this is a lot of food. Wait till you see. This is the bed for my stew. But before I put my stew on there, I want to save about 1.5 cups for my round 2 recipe. My Osso Buco calzones, that's going to come up a little bit later on. And the rest is going to go right onto my polenta. I wish you could smell this. It's absolutely Italian heaven. My total cost for this dish, $13.24. Serves 4, so that's $3.31 per serving for veal. Now that is Italian, and that is what I call a money-saving meal.